Hey everyone, so today me and Nathaniel, we watched Barbarian. It wasn't on like the very top of my list, but it was kind of like in my to watch list. I've heard so many mixed things about it, and I gotta agree with the negative stuff. Um, if you watch my regular channel, because I'm doing my vlogoween vlogs there, I had mentioned that it's probably now the third stupidest movie I've seen this year. The first two being Don't Look Away, which I kind of expected that to be dumb, and the second one was Cobweb. Um, I already have a review on Cobweb on this channel, so if you are watching the channel, then you are aware that I did not care for that movie. And I'm trying to decide which one that I dislike more, Cobweb or Barbarian. I think Barbarian had a better potential than Cobweb was ever going to have. But both have unbelievable things, both just, I don't know. I feel maybe there's more stupid decisions made in Barbarian, mainly because like they're all adults, and Cobweb was kind of more focused like on a kid, and you would think adults would know better. But let's get on to what the actual movie is about. Okay, so Nate's gonna give an opinion here.
Now this movie, I didn't like it. The problem was like a lot of stuff didn't make sense.
Exactly.
I'm like, okay, then this part, right? Then that part like, oh, when you hurry, we get out. Then that part, get back in. I'm like, what?
Right. So, be warned that on this channel we do a little bit more spoilery reviews at times because I keep the more simple, vague ones on my regular channel for like wrap ups and stuff. So, Barbarian starts with this woman. I believe her name was Tess, right? Her name was Tess, and she booked a house on Airbnb because she is going to a job interview. So she gets to the house and she puts in the code for the little box for the key, and the key is gone. And she's calling, the people who own the house and everything, and she's getting no answer. So she rings the doorbell, and there is somebody there. It is not the owners, but it is another person that also booked for that day. So they got double booked, basically. So the movie starts out with her trying to find motels, figure out what's going on, and he tells her that she should just stay. It's not a good neighborhood. And throughout this movie, because it's like, I think almost 40 minutes before anything actually happens, you just get this sense that there's something up with this guy. And just the way it was going, you really suspected that whatever was wrong with whatever's going on was going to be something to do with him, right? Like when the plot twist, the reveal or whatever in the movie came, you thought there was a good chance it was going to be him, or at least he was involved in some way, that maybe he was as creepy as the feelings that were, the vibes and stuff that were given off were. And that's not exactly the case. There's really no true backstory on the characters, but he has no connection to the horror part of this. In fact, I forget why, because I was like also doing stuff at this point. The movie's not that interesting to just watch it. So she ends up in the basement of this house. I think she was exploring or looking for something. I don't remember, and I don't care to remember. Anyways, and she ends up getting trapped down there because the door's shut and she can't get it back open. But yeah, she can't get it back open, and she finds that there's actually like a tunnel, like under the house, like in the basement and stuff, that leads to this room that has a camera and a bed and a bucket. And she's like freaking out, right? And then Keith, that's the guy who got double booked with her. Yeah, his name was Keith. He comes home and then he finds her down in the basement. He doesn't open the door, but he sees her through the little window, and he can't get in because she's got the key. So he ends up getting in, and they make it back upstairs. Oh no, actually, sorry, she gives him the key, and that's how he lets her in. It would have made sense if they were both trapped down there, but then again, the movie didn't make a whole lot of sense. Anyways, so they both end up, in the upstairs again, and she's going to go leave, and he doesn't want her to leave, or he kind of like is trying to like stop her. And again, you're suspicious of that because you guys are strangers. Like, there was a part during the night when she was first there that they found out they had like some sort of thing like in common, or like he knew like movie or director or something that she knew. They got into a good conversation, but it's not like they were like dating or anything. So like, you're kind of suspicious about why he cares so much that she's gonna leave. But he's like, no, I just want to go see it for myself, because she tells him about the room and the camera and everything. And he's like, can you stay here in case I get trapped down in the basement? And so reluctantly she says, okay. And he doesn't come back, like, at all. Like, she's calling for him. It's been a few minutes now. And she goes by the basement, calls for him, then she starts to go down the stairs. The door starts to almost lock, but she's smart enough to try and put something there. I think it was like a chair to stop it from shutting. So that part she was smart about. But she ends up going like deep into this freaking tunnel and stuff, because he is like screaming for help now. Once he hears that she's down there, he can hear her, he is screaming for help. And when she finds him, he tells her that there is someone else down there that they bit him, and even though she wants to leave, it's like in the area that she's got to go back to, they gotta like hide, but she doesn't listen. And okay, first of all, before we even get into all this, I just want to say 0.000 survival instincts of these fucking people, especially this woman, right? Because if you find a tunnel under a house in an Airbnb that you rent, you don't know these people, you don't know who owns the house or whatever, I would not be going down there, especially if the person who's kind of suspicious that you have weird, creepy vibes coming from, you feel kind of uneasy around them. If they are screaming for help, I would not, by myself, pretty much unarmed, go looking for them. Because it could either be a trap set by them, or something got them. which it was the latter. And the creature, this woman, technically, it's not even like a monster or anything. It's a woman, an unclothed woman, an unclothed, slightly disfigured woman, ends up killing the man. Right? She grabs him and she basically like bashes his head in. And then it jumps to the guy that owns the house. He's in legal trouble because he's basically been accused of assault. And I don't even remember what this guy was doing. I think they were working on a movie or something like that. I don't even remember. But he's basically been kicked off the project because of these allegations with one of his like co-workers and stuff. And he's going back to like this house that he owns, and I don't know, I think he's trying to check it out to sell it, probably for, you know, pay the fees and everything that he's going to have to deal with lawyers and everything. Like I said, I don't remember everything. It wasn't interesting enough to completely pay attention to all the details. But he ends up going to the house. And he ends up down in the basement because he hears noises, right? And he yells that he has a gun, but he doesn't. But I guess it's a little smart to at least claim that you're armed. And he does get a knife and everything. So, I mean, at least he tried to scare them and tried to protect himself. But again, no police, no anything. He went down into this spooky, creepy ass basement. And he finds Tess there. And she's still alive, actually. And, you know, she is trapped down there. He ends up trapped down there. And she does end up escaping. She like escapes through the basement window. She breaks it and she climbs out because there was a man waiting for her out there because he knows what lives in the house, and he ends up helping her like get out, right? Because like the creature or lady is after her, and he pulls her out. And she's telling him that she needs to help the guy. And he's like, no. And he tells her that she just lives there and she comes out at night. But she is determined to help this man. Which, and I mean, I understand, like, you wouldn't want to leave somebody down there. But again, the survival instinct is like fucking zero with this lady. And the cops, they just don't want to do anything. Like, I could see that part being frustrated, but I would not go back to the house. Anyways, the guy that owns the house finds another person down there, an older man, and he plays some of these videos that this man has. And they don't really show, they show like what the movies are titled, but not what they are. But he does turn to the man to ask him, like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Indicating that something, like, obviously very bad was on there. And the man then ends up, like, killing himself. And so now the guy's got a gun. And he does end up getting out. Because also Tess does hit the crazy lady with her car. But of course, once they are able to escape together, lady is gone. And so she ends up going to where the man that helped her get out says to go. Kind of implied that he's like homeless. Or at least he lives sort of in that area. Like behind like a fence and everything. And he ends up telling her, or telling them both actually, that, I forgot, the guy ends up hurting Tess because he thought she was the monster, and then they like escape together. Anyways, like I said, spoiler review, but I guess you don't need every detail. That's if you still want to watch this movie. Anyways, he ends up telling her that the father basically would take women down there, like kidnap them basically, and have babies with them, and then babies with those, once they were able to have children. So basically it is a continuing line of like incest. Like he is the father to like his grandbabies and great grandbabies, and that is what that woman in the basement is a result of. And it's like that reveal comes at like the very end. Like I said, nothing happens for like nothing but like weird vibes coming from a guy happens until like 40 minutes into the damn movie. And then like that kind of stupid reveal comes pretty much at the very end. I don't think there was maybe even 20 minutes left at that point. What do you think, Nate?
You think about what I think about the movie?
Yeah, what did you think about the movie?
I didn't really 2-star. How shitty it is.
Nate rated it 2 stars. I'm gonna have to kind of agree with you on that one.
Yeah. It's so bad, it probably make the Winnie horror movie look better.
The which one?
The Winnie horror movie, it make it look that better.
I don't know what that one is.
The horror about the Winnie Pooh one.
Oh, the Winnie the Pooh one. I have not seen that one yet. It does look kind of dumb though.
It probably make the Winnie Pooh horror movie look better.
Yeah, I mean, it's not the absolute worst thing I've watched. Like I said, it had potential to it, but it just took so long for anything to get going. And then that's the big reveal and everything. Like, I don't know, if there was more of a backstory and everything, might have been a little bit better. But yeah, like I said, we're rating this 2 stars. Anyways, thanks for watching, everybody. Bye-bye.